Hi, my name is Reva, and I'm here today to talk about something I'm calling an inside job. There will be a number of aspects of this, but I'm going to start today with spirituality. Most of us have grown up in some kind of religious, cultural background that had a heaven and a hell and a nirvana. It might have called it different things, but there was definitely the bad place, the good place, and hopefully the good place meant that you stayed there for a while. Bad place usually meant that you stayed there for a while too. So, what am I thinking about when I think about heaven and hell and nirvana? What if heaven and hell and nirvana aren't in the future and they're not something outside? What if this is all an inside job in reality? That heaven is here now, nirvana is here now, and hell is here now. I'm sure we've all had days that felt like heaven and days that felt like hell, and days that made us think nirvana would be possible. What I'm looking at is if we step out of duality, where there's a heaven or a hell, and step into beingness, then heaven and hell are states of being that exist today, not when we're dead. We don't know what exists when we're dead. But the more important thing is that they exist today. How would we know whether we live in heaven or hell? What, when you think about the words heaven and hell, or the dream of nirvana, we've been brought up by very demonistic hell and hot and heaven being somehow on a white cloud and nirvana being dancing women and food and sex and whatever all the time. But what really are heaven and hell and nirvana? If they're states of mind and states of being, I would like to propose, and obviously I'm far from the original making this proposition, that they have to do with your relationship with self. If we are in alignment with that which we are, whether it be mind, body, spirit, or in a deeper level, beingness, then life is heaven. If we're out of alignment with that which we are, then life is hell. And nirvana is just that space where there's consistent being in alignment, being coherent with that which we are. So that leads us to the question of what is that which we are? And each of us has our own personal answer to that we perceive, believe, where the I is. Is the I here? Is the I here? Is the I in something more amorphous that includes this? So, what would it mean to be congruent with that which we are? The Sedona method talks about the highest state being peace, acceptance, and courageousness. I think I always had a picture of nirvana and heaven being all light and fluffy and perfect and all that. But what if it's really just being at one, being able to be in peacefulness, acceptance, true acceptance, and the courageousness of being present? So, how does all that resonate with you? And then for me, the next question is how the H do we get there? How the heaven do we get there? Well, from a non-dual point of view, we already are there. It's just we act like our ego is who we are most of the time, and our beliefs and our circumstances. But if we could open to our resistance between our beliefs and what the apparent circumstances are and the apparent us, and let go of that resistance and explore why the resistances are there, and explore not why, but explore the resistances that are there and the layers of them, then we could come into that place of peacefulness, acceptance. So I'd like to start by just playing with some of these questions. Could you open to what's here now when you think about yourself? Whatever that means. And could you notice any resistance that you have towards the self, the apparent self? Could you just open to that resistance, the ways in which we're not enough, it needs to be different, the circumstances aren't right, blah, 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 blah. Just open to that. And could you notice whether the circumstances you're living in are defining in some way who you are, or who you act like you are, or who you think you are? And could you just open to that belief that somehow the circumstances are a statement about who you are? What comes up? And just open to what comes up. And could you open to any attachment or aversion you have to your circumstances and the apparent perceived that which you are? So first, just open to the attachments you have about, oh, this is good. I like this. I like this red shirt. I like who I am. I like whatever it is. And just notice your attachments to beliefs about that which you are, or that which you should be. Just notice them. Allow them to be there. And could you let them go? Those attachments. Would you let them go? And when? And then could you open to the aversions you have to the apparent you, the things that you don't like, you wish were different, the circumstances you don't like, you wish were different, the pushing, the resistance. Could you open to that? And then could you let that go? Would you? When? So I'd like to propose that you do some playing with the attachments and the aversions you have to yourself on whatever level, on the dual level, on the non-dual level, to the body, to the mind, to the spirit, to circumstances. Just notice all the judgments, both plus and minus, that create heaven and hell in any moment in time. And I'd like to end with 3 simple questions and just allow yourself to open to them and see what happens. Are you? Are you? Are you? Thank you.